in the bedroom for his trip to America in the morning. Paddy said it could be himself. It could be his own last night at home in Ireland. Paddy's father, like the father in the play, he wasn't too anxious about his son going to America, and for 3 weeks before he never spoke to him. The morning that Paddy was going for the boat, his father was sitting by the fire, and Paddy stood at the door waiting for him to say goodbye to him. He didn't. He just turned his head and said, "You'll be sorry yet." Well, Paddy wasn't. He did well in America. He drove the underground train from the Bronx down to Manhattan. Paddy used to bring in big parties of Irish people to the play. So many indeed that when they came around backstage afterwards, they couldn't all sit in my dressing room. And Paddy used to line them up, 2 lines in the corridor outside. And then he'd march me up and down between them like De Valera reviewing the troops, saying, "This is Jerry Sheehan from Knocknaimirish," and say hello to that man, he's from Mayo. In the 10 months run of the play, Paddy became an authority on Broadway. He read up everything about it. And he and Tim Curtin, my aunt's husband, they spoke with such familiarity about David Merrick, the big Broadway producer. You'd swear that he was in the boat coming over with him.
Timothy, Buckley Esquire, Taylor, Gneeveguilla. That's me, all right. Oh, what would 3 priests in a motoring car be writing to me about? We'll soon find out. Dear sir, on our way to Gugambara, we learned with dismay that the subjects for Mr. Eric Cross's depraved narrative, The Taylor Nenshti, reside in the townland of Gneeveguilla in this district. You are no doubt aware that this book has been banned by the Censorship of Publications Board of this state. Our attention has now been drawn to the fact that you have a copy of this work in your possession in the earnest hope of preventing the spread of further scandal amongst thousands of innocent Irish men and women. And in the sincere belief that you and your wife may now wish to purge yourselves of this great evil, we hereby appeal to you to burn this book forthwith. We shall call upon you this afternoon to see that you have carried out our request. Yours, Fathers Morris Cashman, Dennis McNamara, Fintan O'Donnell.
Mr. Kelly, this is your 5-minute call. 5 minutes, please.
I've been in this dressing room in the Abbey Theatre on and off since 1967. In between times, I've worked on television in London with the Irish Theatre Company, Field Day, and the Gay Theatre. It was Michael Colgan who directed 7 of my 8 storytelling shows, and it was also he who directed Maura and myself in the Taylor Nancy. This is the head of Tim Buckley the tailor, and as Tim himself would have said, "There's a fine head. Bronze is the hardest substance in the world. There's a head now that'll wear out several bodies, and it'll break the jaws of any flare midge that'll try to bite it." If you ask me what part I like best of all the parts I've played since I first saw the boards, I'd say I didn't play the part yet I want to be remembered by. We're always striving, always hoping maybe the next part will be the best. In Ireland, we spend a lot of time doing the plays of other nations, which is very good, except that they do them better themselves. What we do best is what comes out of our own resources. If we could do that even better still, without looking over our shoulder, if we could find a way, a style of our own to do it, you can be sure, as happened in the early days of the Abbey, the world again would stop and turn its head.
Mr. Kelly, stand by.